The Hunter Brothers proudly present Hunting for Funny.
Hello folks and welcome to Hunting for Funny. I'm Chris.
And I'm Jack, and we're on a quest to find the funny in life.
Yes, we are. Everybody needs a bit of a cheering up these days, so we're here to give you that very same cheer up. So Jack, what have you been up to this week?
Same as always, really. Not really.
Just like everyone else. Same
Yeah.
every day. Day in, day out. Bloody Groundhog Day for everyone.
Yeah, more or less. I mean, I live next door to a pub, so that's been a little bit more noisy
Jesus.
recently since it opened.
I bet. It's probably rolling all over the walls by now.
To be fair, it's not been too bad. I mean,
Right.
It's like a local pub. It's not a big one, so it's not too bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been different, I suppose. I don't want to particularly come out of lockdown at the moment since there's still a virus in
There's
the air,
absolutely no reason to.
Everyone just seems to have got a bit bored of it, and I'm like, you can't get bored of death.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
Way.
I know, like early on, people were demanding being like let out because they're like, oh, I'm getting stir crazy at home. I've been in for a week. It's like, yeah. So what? If you go outside, you might die. Then you don't go anywhere again. So I don't get how it's such a hard decision to just stay at home. But
that's ridiculous. Like the start of it, everyone was like, "Oh, lock us down. We don't want the virus." And now it's like, I can do whatever I want to do.
Yeah.
If I want to get it, I can go. Shut up, will you?
Oh, people are just stupid.
Oh, it's ridiculous. But yeah, apart from that, what else have I done? I've done my webinar.
Yeah. It went well.
So that was quite good. Yeah, I didn't really know how to use the technology too well because I'm like an 18-year-old in a 25-year-old's body, so I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, that's fine. It's okay. But that's another good thing about this whole lockdown situation is that people are getting better at using like Zoom and Skype and face, messengers and all kinds of stuff like that. So it's good. So yeah, at least you got that out of the way. So was it okay with all the time zone differences and stuff? Was everybody on board?
Yeah, no, it was good to fair. Big shout out to Khalib in Australia. He got up at 4:45 in the morning to listen to me talk. Yeah,
that is commitment.
Fair play. He was up and about. He was talking and communicating. I was like, I would.
How do you communicate pre 5 a.m.?
No idea. Absolutely no idea.
You can communicate pre 9 a.m.
I mean, I really don't want to listen to my drivel sometimes, let alone get up at 4 in the morning to hear me talk.
Oh God! Well, I'm glad it went well. So, have you got any more on the cards, do you reckon, or just maybe see what happens?
Yeah, I might see. There's a bit of interest from other people that didn't manage to get on because I managed to do it on the worst day of the pub's open in England, and the 4th of July in America. So
of course,
I had about 5.
You couldn't have picked a much worse day than that.
Yeah, it wasn't great, but I soldiered on.
Yeah,
but yeah, it was all right.
I'm glad.
Do one again soon. So
that's good news.
What have you been up to?
Well, again, we've been locked in, so we've been watching a lot of stuff. So I've got a lot of things to talk about watching wise, but before that, we thought it would be good last weekend to do a bit of cleaning, because you got to do a bit of cleaning. You've been in the same place for however long, and one of the things that we do when we clean is I take the kitchen, Charlie takes the bathroom. It's kind of always how it's been.
Yeah.
And we clean like she does like a deep clean of the toilet every time we do that. But to do it
like in the bottom of the bowl. Is that
but like with a brush,
Oh, right, okay.
But to do it, we just get like these cheap rubbish brushes from Wilco's,
right?
They're like 50p. And just use it, and when it's buggered, recycle it or throw it away.
Yeah.
But because Wilco's has been closed, or we haven't wanted to go there, we were like, we'll just have to leave it for a bit longer,
Okay.
So it got a bit not nice, not awful, but not like a pub toilet, but just not to the standard you want. And eventually we're like, okay, it's been long enough. Things are starting to calm down a bit. Shops are opening up. We feel a bit safer going out. We've got masks, so we went to Wilco's and we got the stuff we needed. Nice. Came back and I was actually I did a bit of extra work that weekend. I was a bit busy with work, so did some kitchen stuff, but mostly I spent the time on the computer. And I'm sat on my computer just doing some work, and I've got my headphones on because I listen to a lot of. I've told you before, I listen to like Mike Shinoda making beats, so it's just loops for hours. So I have headphones on so she doesn't go crazy. And then I hear something behind me and I turn around, and she stood there with like. I think she had a brush in her hand. I can't remember now. She just stood there with this weird look on her face, and she was both crying and laughing at the same time. And I said, "What's up with you?" And she just went, "I got some splash on my mouth." and then she started like, while saying it, she started kind of crying but laughing at the same time. And then she's like, "It was brown," and then and it got worse. And I got up and I felt so bad for it. I got up and we were just like, I was hugging her saying it's okay, but at the same time I could not breathe for laughing.
Oh yeah, you're not going to give her a kiss.
No, well, she tried, but no. So Honestly, I've not laughed that hard in so damn long. And she was laughing her ass off as well. Because I think the funniest thing was just didn't know what emotion to do. They were both completely accurate, but they were both at the same time. And it was so messed up. So she did like an antiseptic mouthwash. We did like lemon spray, the green tea oil, like everything we could think of that in the house that might clean this just in case. So luckily none went in. It was just next to. But that's enough to make you not want to do it again.
There's one thing having shite on your mouth, but not having shite that might not be yours on your mouth.
Yeah, it's worse, isn't it? I mean, yeah, if you just forgot to wash your hands and you have a buffet, like, oops, well, another day. But
if you didn't say it's because you talk shit, I would not say the way.
Oh god, but yeah, that was terrible. I felt so bad for her, but it was funny, and she'll admit it was funny, but at the same time, traumatic. So I feel like. I think I'm on bathroom duty for the next 5 or 6 times.
Yeah,
now.
I can imagine you need to swap around there. I got bin juice on my face once, and it was
the worst, isn't it?
The worst.
The worst thing is, wait, this is going to sound really bad. I heard it in my head before I said it out loud. I was going to say the worst thing is when you get mystery liquids on you, but but you know exactly what I mean by that. Like bin juice, or you just sat on the bus and something was damp. There's you never know what's going to happen. It used to be the worst at the cinema when you're working there, and you've got like buckets full of drinks and piss and whatever else is in there. And you're pouring it out, and sometimes you get a splash in your face or in your mouth or whatever. Yeah. And it'd just be awful.
Me and Josh were changing the bins, like my best mate Josh used to live with.
Yeah.
And we were taking the bins out. We were arguing who was going to take the bins off. So we got to a point where only like 18 and a bit petty. We're like, we're both going to take the bins out. So we both walked out with a bin bag each.
Just grumpy faced.
It was like one of them big, like flat bins, the communal ones.
Oh yeah.
So he gets the bin bag and he flings it over his shoulder like Father Christmas.
Oh god!
As he's flung it, because I'm lower down, it's just splattered me like all the way up my face.
Oh, you got one of them. You got like the mud track on a cyclist's back.
Yeah. But like, I started balking, which made he start balking.
Yeah.
It was the worst thing ever. I was like, I got bin juice in my face. Just like screwing.
Is it on me? Oh god, that wouldn't be nice. Bin juice is just the worst, man. Great. It's awful stuff. But yeah, other than Charlie going through a life-changing experience, like I said, we've been pretty much watching a bunch of stuff. I think I said last week that Hamilton was coming to Disney Plus.
Oh yeah.
And so was Frozen 2. So we watched Hamilton, and it was amazing. If you've not watched it yet, go and watch it if you get a chance. We've seen it in person, and we've listened to the soundtrack hundreds of times, literally hundreds of times. But there's stuff in the show you don't see, and the way they filmed it, like it was almost the whole original cast. And when they recorded it, it had been going for a year, and they'd done the show 500 times. So, because they do 8 shows a week, so they've had loads of practice. At this point, they're basically at the peak they're going to be. People are leaving like the following month, so they've got to get all this stuff done. But the way they did it, they filmed it over, I think it was 5 shows over 3 days, including a day off. So that week they had 12 shows or something crazy.
Dedication, not to
yeah. So they got a dolly crane in, the big filming cranes that can zoom in and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
They brought one of them in, and so they filmed different shows in different ways. So one of them they had the full audience and stuff. Other ones they had just like the crane shots for close-ups and things. And because they were filming it, they were doing stuff they wouldn't normally do.
Yeah.
Because theatre, it's all about big expressions, so the people in the back of the room can see you.
Yeah, there's no people there.
Yeah, so exactly. But you don't get to do little subtleties and stuff because there's no camera to film it close up, so people don't see it. It gets lost. So it was more like it was a really cool performance. I really, really enjoyed it. So give it a watch if you haven't already. And a lot of people I've seen online or in work have said, have you seen that Hamilton? It's bloody good. And I'm like, I've been saying this for 2 years.
It's like when you listen to a new band and it gets popular and everyone jumps on it.
By the time they jump on it, you're like, I've heard it enough now. But other than watching Hamilton, I've also been watching the making of Frozen 2. So we haven't watched the film again yet.
You in the Frozen band.
Dude, I'm telling you. By the way, I forgot to say, last week when I got quite passionate about Frozen and my fandom, what I forgot to mention?
What?
One of the lines from my vows is from Frozen 2.
Oh,
so
wow.
You can all go fuck yourselves. I love it.
Wow. I can just imagine you getting over from a hard day of work, getting out your club and then just putting a full Elsa costume on.
I've not got Elsa. I've got a Chewie onesie, but I've not got Elsa. I'll gladly wear it though.
Sitting there like Olaf.
To be fair, I prefer Olaf. I met Olaf, I'll have you know. Best day of my life.
Was he cool?
Actually, it's kind of awkward. Yeah, I see your bad pun, but it was kind of awkward because we were in Disney and you have character meets. We're getting a picture with Olaf. And obviously there's people in the suits. Sorry to break the illusion. There's people in there. And I felt really bad because, Olaf kind of beckoned us over for a photograph. And so you put your arm around them. I put my arm around them and straight to side boob. completely accidental. I was like, what? No, you know, so obviously, but in that moment, I was like, what the fuck? You know, because you're just thinking, I'm meeting Olaf, and then straight away I went from that to lawsuit. This is going wrong. Yeah, no, it was incredibly awkward. But
meeting people in costumes and like mascots and stuff
Yeah.
in a wheelchair is an absolute nightmare because
Oh,
they all
bet.
think I've got learning disabilities. Like literally walk up to you and they're like, "Hey, how are you?" And I'm like,
Hey,
"I'm
how are
absolutely
you
fine."
doing
Like,
today?
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
It's in Selfridges
Oh,
in
yeah.
London.
Yeah.
It was around Christmas time, and there's a big, massive like Father Christmas walking around,
Mhm.
and I'm just there with Will, chilling about, like looking at stuff. And he makes knocks all his kids over, makes a beeline for me, going, "Hey, how are you, buddy?" And I was like, "Can you leave me alone? Because I'm all right." Like, just
Making a scene.
The illusion's not broke.
Oh,
It's
man.
an absolute nightmare.
I bet. Like, I imagine if you went to like Disney or something, you probably get a lot of like Make-A-Wish lookers. You know, like, oh, here he comes.
Yeah.
There's this week's special deal.
I'm skipping queues left, right, and centre there.
To be fair, there's nothing wrong with that. You know,
True.
every cloud, as they say. But yeah, so we've been watching that making of, because it's like a 6-part series, and it is brilliant. Like, even if you're not into the film or whatever, I highly recommend watching it, because maybe it's just because I'm in a similar kind of field, because making games and making films, they're not that dissimilar when it comes to animation and stuff. And yet watching how they deal with like deadlines and seeing the fact that they struggle with certain things, like, oh, okay, even Disney have to struggle with these, some of these problems that I thought was quite major, and like, oh, it's not really that major. They just it happens there as well. But yeah, super inspirational as well. So go watch it. Like I said, even if you don't like the films, and if you wanna fight me for liking Frozen, I'll fucking fight you back. I'll get my buddy Christoph and Sven on you. I know them all.
I literally don't. It's like I just don't understand where you got this love from Frozen from.
Have you watched it?
You're about one Frozen film away from being Louis Spence. That's what I feel like.
Have you seen Frozen though? I mean, really, have you seen it?
I have seen Frozen. Yeah.
Have you seen it? Like, you know,
I've seen it once.
Did you peer into its soul?
Not quite.
Then you've not seen it. You need to watch it again. But yeah, and just to bounce off the scales of stuff that we've been doing, I've also been watching a lot of Kitchen Nightmares. Gordon Ramsay's. We realised that entire collection is on like all 4, so we just started watching it, and we've watched so many of them. It's mad. Like, I feel like I can just judge anybody's kitchen now, quite well. And one more thing we've been watching, because I've just realised we've literally watched a lot this week, is, you know, The Grudge, the horror film, the Japanese one, the weird girl with the long hair and gets all creaky up and broke. Well, Netflix have done in Japan have done a TV series called Ju-on the Origins. It's like the Grudge origin story, and that's creepy. But we've been watching that. It's actually pretty well done. It's almost done like a detective show mixed with a horror film. And like a TV form. It's pretty cool. So give that a watch as well.
Talking of Japanese programs, you've been watching that Midnight Diner.
Oh yeah, you said about that.
So good.
It's a great show. Yeah, when you told me about that, I was really confused because I'd been watching Midnight Diner as well, but it's called Midnight Diner Tokyo Stories. And then you said there was another one called Tokyo Stories. Like, what do you mean there's 2? So yeah, I looked it up, and it turns out there's like 7 seasons, but Netflix only had the last 2, and they called it Tokyo Stories, and then they bought the rest of them and called it just Midnight Diner. So then there's loads more now.
It's so crazy, boy. Like, it's relaxing to watch.
Yeah, and it's got a lot of atmosphere to it. I find like it's
for sure.
It makes you want to be in that little group of friends that turn up to this little. Because tell the people what it is, because they don't know what it is.
Basically, it's a guy called Master, and he's got a diner that he opens from midnight till 7 in the morning, and it's just people that walk on his diner.
Yeah.
And he doesn't have a menu. He's got like 2 things in the menu, but he'll cook whatever you want to, as long as he's got the ingredients for it.
Exactly.
And it's just stories of the people.
Yeah.
But
it's like a slice of life thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great because the stories like go around their meal, so they always have the same meal.
Yeah.
And the story's centered around that one character, one meal per episode. And only 25 minutes long, but it's a good watch.
Oh, that when they call them master, that's because that's what you call people who run a restaurant. So it's like saying, "Hey, barman, can I have another drink?" It's like, master. Sushi.
Lucy's mum was the one who told us about it.
Right.
And so we've been talking about it on the phone, but then she keeps going, "I'm just off to see Master now. I'm listening to Master." She's going, "Oh, Master.
Oh, Master."
I'm like, Jesus,
That's brilliant. I like that. I'm glad to see it's getting a bigger audience because it is a great show. And that the area that it's in Tokyo, it's in Shinjuku. It's called Kabukicho. It's like the dodgiest part of Tokyo. If you're ever going to get mugged, it'll be there. But it's super rare, the chance of that happening. But that's where the Yakuza are normally. That's why they have one in like the second episode, I think it is, because that's
Yeah,
that's their headquarters.
He's running throughout it as well, I think.
Oh, right, yeah. No, it's a great show. I highly recommend it to people. Right, so that's what we've been doing this week then. So I must ask you, Jack, what has been bugging you?
Oh, this one. Take a deep breath. Takes a. I feel like we talk about social media quite a lot on these bugging ones, but it's because we've got fuck all else to do.
Yeah.
I realise this.
Your life is watching TV or being on social media, usually at the same time.
Right, this is what's bugging me.
Okay.
And it's a public service announcement
PSA.
to every female and male on Facebook, on social media.
Yeah, these days you have to say everyone.
Basically everyone. Yeah, basically everyone. If you're taking a profile picture
Mm-hmm.
for your Facebook, for your gram, don't look like you're blowing a pot noodle. It's really doing my head in.
You're blowing a
Go
pot
from
noodle.
like,
Oh, the old duck face. Has that come
well,
back?
duck face is a thing, but now it's a bit like you're like, oh, that's hot.
Oh, spicy.
Like you're blowing it. You look a knob. You don't like that in real life. Just smile.
Just begging for
Everyone
Photoshop. That's all you're doing.
Yeah, what are you doing? People look at your profile and go, he looks happy, he's smiling. No, oh, he looks like he's in pain.
Yeah.
Like, don't stop it. It's really frustrating.
Well, that's
really,
a simple
really
enough one. That is, it makes sense as well, because it's like, it's frustrating when you see people, like if you're trying to say you're going to go out with some friends and they're bringing friends of friends with them. You're like, I don't know them, so you go to their Facebook just to see the face, try and get the face and name thing sorted out.
A bit of stalking, yeah.
Well, just enough to know the name, because
Yeah.
I'm awful with names. I will forget your name. You can tell me, and I will forget it straight away. So what I do instead is I'll try and see him beforehand and try and remember. Okay, that's such a body, and then go through it. But when they've got a picture like that, you're like, I don't know who you are. I've got no idea what you look like.
Exactly. And when they turn up, they look nothing like the look on the internet anyway. So
yeah, exactly. It's full on catfish.
And at least get yourself a new pose, because if you swipe through all the profile pictures, they're all the same sort of like different,
just
different top, like just different.
It's like a flip book animation in the background's just changing.
Oh, but I should a girl as well. Don't put like, oh, my room's so messy, and just have a picture of your tits. Because if you're gonna put a picture of your tits, just say this is my tits. You don't have to say another caption. It's got nothing to do with it. Oh, just have my haircut, but you've got a bra on. Put a top on. If you wanted to show your new haircut, put a top on.
You know,
don't get your tattoos out.
I can't ever say I've seen that one, but okay, that's a good logical life advice there. Yeah, no, it is funny when people do stuff like that, I guess.
It's frustrating.
Just have my hair done. It's just like a down top picture.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, well, can we see the hair then?
At least just go, my tits look nice today. Just put on there.
And there's nothing wrong with that. If you feel that way, you feel that way.
Absolutely.
Whatever you think looks good, looks good. Just stick within the guidelines of Facebook.
And law.
And law, yeah. Common law is important to follow. Yeah, so...
What's bugging you this week?
You're not going to like it, because I've just realised it's a kind of theme to something earlier on. What's bugging me, I may have mentioned in the past I quite like Frozen. What bugs me is the first one came out.
Just let it go.
I will do soon enough. When the first one came out, right, I was excited for the Blu-ray, because I love watching making-of documentaries, especially about animated films, because Shrek inspired me to make 3D in the first place. So I'm always about making-of documentaries. And I saw on the Blu-ray, it said right there, the making of Frozen. It's like, yes, get home, slap that on. Right? I wanted to watch it, but I was busy whatever times, couldn't watch it for a bit, and then we finally got round to watching it, put it on, and this musical number starts with them all there doing this theatrical thing in the foyer of the Disney Animation Studios. Full 5-minute song. It's like, wow, what an intro. And it's like, how do we make Frozen? And singing about it. And at the end, they're like, people want to know. And then at the end, they just go, we don't know. And they all left. And it stopped. And that was it. That was the making of Frozen. Because I didn't know this. They didn't know it was going to be a hit. They had everybody working on Tangled. Yeah, they put the B team on Frozen. They had everybody else working on Tangled. And they didn't even bother filming the making of it. So they had this musical number. And I was like, come on, it's almost done. And then they just said, we don't know. It ends on we don't know. And then go. I was so pissed off. I was like, I was both angry and upset, because I was ready to be inspired. So,
Inspired.
So I'm guessing that's why this second one's so much better. God. But yeah, so now you know how much of a disappointment of a brother I am. Who is your idiot of the week this week? Apart from me, of course.
God. Yeah.
Man, I have to get my laugh outfit for next week, don't I?
Yeah, you're gonna have to get some Frozen merch out for you, just like #1 fan or something.
That's true. I don't have any nearby.
I don't know how you've got like Frozen. Wasn't even like you watched it as a kid, or you got nostalgia. Like you just fell upon it.
Came
like,
out when I
how
worked
did
in the
you-
cinema. I was the grown-ass man working there when it came out.
Oh, talking about working in the cinema.
Yes.
Is it all right to chuck your shite all over the floor when you go to cinema?
Not even remotely.
Oh, really? I thought it was just an etiquette thing. Like you just if you finish your popcorn on the floor. No, not a thing.
I really hope that's sarcasm because I need to break your arm so you go in circles. That's ridiculous.
No, people always just leave stuff
People
on the
are
floor.
stupid. You know that, right?
I'm not the only one who does that.
You
There's
are
must be
now.
People out there. No, for sure.
If you do that again, if you ever do that again, I will force feed you whatever's on that floor, yours
if you're
or not.
listening and you've left your rubbish in the cinema,
I
and
officially
you've
think
not
you're a
took it out
prick.
there, no, you're a normal person. That's
No,
normal behaviour.
right, there's a difference, right? If you finished your popcorn, you can place it on the floor, the
Oh,
bag.
yeah.
You can place it there. Okay,
Yeah.
I might forgive you, but there is a bin outside, so put it there instead. If you're one of these pricks who goes, well, finished, and just lobs it, then I despise you to the very, very, very bottom of your soul.
I've not quite done that.
I once picked up a warm can. Does that say the kind of people we get in the cinema? Yeah, exactly. We don't sell warm drinks in cans, so you can have a guess what happened there. I once found, right, in a kid's film, Golden Compass, we once found a used condom at the second from the front row, and second to the back row was the packet. So I'm guessing something happened and somebody went and just lobbed it over all the kids. So yeah, it was the Golden Compass, right? There's not going to be a high age range in this place. So yeah, people are absolute savages.
Imagine just watching a film, just getting a Johnny in the back of your head, just like, boom, fucking
Well,
hell.
to be fair, it's still better than watching some films I've seen.
True, yeah.
It's spiced some things up. I mean, Golden Compass is pretty terrible, but still.
Oh God.
But yeah, so other than people in the cinema, who's your idiot of the week? I mean,
Yeah.
what were you saying
Your
about the
turn.
cinema? What?
Cinema.
Yeah,
Who's your idiot of the
you're
week?
talking about your idiot of the week, and the cinema and popcorn. Is the idiot the person throwing the popcorn on the floor?
What was my idiot of the week? I'm confused.
You
no,
said
my idiot of the week was the. What? I've not done it yet.
that's what we're
What's the
doing.
idiot of the week? All right, okay. I thought I told you my idiot of the week, but that was my what's bugging you.
You just tell 'em- Oh, was
I
it?
know what you're
Okay,
doing.
all right. We're back on track, folks. All right. I thought you told me what was bugging you.
No, I told you what was bugging you, but I haven't done my idiot of the week.
Right, okay. So do your idiot of the
It's
week
my
then.
fault.
All right, let's do this.
We're doing the old shit cupcake again. We get anything.
Yes, we are. We got that sweet, sweet icing on top. So idiots first.
Right. So this one is people on TikTok
Yes.
who are making them baby videos where they pour water over the babies. I don't know if you've seen it.
I've
It's
heard of them.
horrific.
I've not watched any, but
Oh. It's like it's that song that's like and they like jolt and they throw water on people and it's meant to make them splash. I've seen one
right.
like a trend
Okay.
of them like throwing water over a newborn baby. And it's like the reaction, and you go, and then everyone's
Yeah.
laughing. I'm thinking, you cruel bastard! What are you doing? Just
Yeah.
stop making TikTok videos and
Yeah,
injuring young children. That's my idiot of the week.
What's
It's
a good?
bit of a broad.
I couldn't say it's more than one, but I like it. I do like it. Yeah, there's a lot of idiots on TikTok.
Yeah.
Sometimes
I like
it's good to
TikTok,
watch.
but Jesus,
Sometimes it's
is,
bad.
A limit.
Yeah, the good thing is
It's-
about that though, the fact that it learns, it's kind of creepy, but I like that. Like,
Yeah.
whatever you like or whatever you watch, it goes, all right, you like more of this stuff, we'll funnel some more of that stuff in.
Yeah.
And it
yeah.
gradually gets better, which it's pretty good. Cool. Right, so my idiot of the week. You know, I said I've been watching a lot of Kitchen Nightmares recently.
Oh yeah.
There was one they went to, I forget the guy's name, it's Peter or Robert maybe, but he was one of these Italian guys in America. You know, where they're not remotely Italian, like the granddad was. Like, hey, I'm
Why do
Italian,
Americans
you
do
know.
that?
Pardon?
They say why do Americans say the heritage rather than where they're from? So like if I said,
I think it
don't
is just a
understand
thing. I don't know. I wouldn't even know what our heritage was. I think the
Like,
surname's Scottish,
no.
but I don't know.
Do you know Spivey is Scottish? It's called Gaelic for old and crippled man.
All right, that makes sense.
got
You just described yourself.
I was going to say literally that's my name is.
Yeah, I like
Yeah,
it.
Americans are like, oh, I'm Irish. Like you've never been to Ireland.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
You're not Irish. You might have had an Irish chester when you were a kid growing up. Apart
Yeah,
from that,
that's
you've
it.
literally nothing to do with that.
You've seen a Guinness glass once.
Yeah.
It's about the closest you're gonna get. You didn't
Yeah.
use it. You just saw it. But yeah, this Italian guy, he ran a place called Peters or Roberts or whatever it was called. I think it was Peters, and he's just such a prick. He was one of these stupid meatheads, and he had the shirt that's 2 sizes too small.
Oh, yeah,
And he is, if I say he was bronze, he makes like the Mr. Muscle contests look like they've been just hiding indoors for weeks. Like he was proper gold and glisten.
Nice.
And he had this big, like, massive fake Rolex on, and he's driving his Mercedes and whatever. And the reason Gordon's there is because the place is down the shitter. They've got no money.
Yeah.
They're losing everything. But this guy, he did nothing like productive. He kept demanding people make him coffees and stuff, and he was going smoozing with people and giving them free food.
Yeah.
And then debt collectors would start coming in. Like, literally just middle of shooting, these debt collectors walk in, and he'd like, get the fuck out of it, get the fuck out of it, start chasing him out.
Yeah.
And then there's another guy came, and the guy comes in, he starts having a few words with him, and at this point, this is literally half an hour before the store's about to open for the grand reopening that they have. So Gordon's there with them all in a circle saying, come on guys, do us proud, we can do this, we can turn it around. And this debt collector walks in, and he starts shouting and fighting with him. And he gets outside, like, he's literally shoves him outside, starts fisticuffs and everything, pushes his dad clean on the floor. And his dad's like a 70-year-old mobster. He's got, like, the jowls and everything, like, you disrespect me, he's one of them guys. He was on his arse. And then the guy gets in his car, and the owner fella starts, like, punching the car and calling him every name under the sun. And even at one point he goes, "You fucking blowjob!" It's like, I've never heard anybody called that as an insult before. But
he just panicked there and said everything he said.
But then Charlie said maybe that's because that's what he thinks he should have been. It's like, oh, that's even better.
You should have been swallowed.
Oh, respectful. But yeah, so that's my edit of the week was that guy. He knocked his own dad in his ass whilst fighting a debt collector. It was the second one of the day. So, I hope that guy got mowed down by a separate mobster. He was definitely a gangster, by the way. I forgot to mention that bit. This is definitely a family operation.
It's like when you watch that Can't Pay Take It Away on Channel 4.
When Razor Riddick was on it.
Yeah, Pop.
My childhood hero was on Can't Pay Take It Away.
Curly Watson Corey was on it, I think.
Was he?
Yeah, Fall from Grace. But like, they get there, and then you're always like fighting him. Don't you touch me, don't come in my house.
Yeah.
Like, this is Jobland. If you didn't get yourself in 20 million quid's worth of debt, and then it's difficult.
I mean, they put it right down the title. If you can't pay it, we're just going
They'll
to take it away.
Yeah.
That's how it works. Nice teamwork. I like that. High five.
With a new Atom deck.
I've got the forehead, so we can. Right. So, who's your hero this week, Jack?
My hero this week is, drum roll.
No, we don't have one.
It's like Jaws. That's the one.
I forgot what I was doing. I read the word drums on my little number pad, and it's the joke drums. I was like, wait, we don't have that button. But all right, go on. Right. So you've had a drum roll now.
All right, my hero of the week is Ashley Facey Thompson.
Ashley Facey Thompson.
Ashley Facey Thompson, or
That's
Ashley Facey. Basically, he's a player in the squad, and he's been very nice to me. He actually bought me this T-shirt.
Oh, that's nice.
He's an absolute legend.
Nice.
So I've been speaking to Ash. I know Ash really well. We've grew up together, more or less, in the squad. And I've been asking him for fashion advice because he always looks sick. Like, he's always dressed like boss. And I want to change the way I look and feel a bit better about myself, I suppose. So I was thinking about that.
Give you a makeover.
And, yeah, more or less. So I bought myself new shoes.
Nice.
And he said, tell you what, I'm going to drop off something. I've got you something that'll go nice with your shoes. Lo and behold, turned up yesterday, and he's got me a T-shirt, bless him. So
that's nice.
It really picked me up, really felt well, because I had a tough week with table tennis and all that sort of stuff going on. So, no, I appreciate it, Ash. So, cheers, mate. And you are the hero of the week.
What a hero. Very nice. Very well deserved. Yeah, if you'd have just said Ash, I'd know what you meant, but because it's the full name, I got completely thrown off. It's like, what? I was thinking it's one of the Olsen twins for some reason. My brain went straight to the Olsen twins, because I think one of them's called Ashley. Right, cool. Well, my hero this week is slightly less noble. It's some dude in America I've never met.
Nice.
So nobody bought me a T-shirt. But this guy's called Jason Hibbs, and he turned his ride-on lawnmower into a tank.
Nice.
So he fully kitted it out. It obviously doesn't function as a tank. It does still function as a lawnmower. But yeah, it just looks like a little mini Panzer tank. It's so cool. But I thought that is the kind of thing you need during lockdown, is little eccentric people like that. Because imagine looking out your window and just seeing a little tank mowing the grass. But I thought that guy is a proper hero. So yeah, he got my hero of the week.
Nice. I remember I went to Norway with my friend Tommy, and we were training there. Tommy lives in like a little suburban bit of Norway. Mm-hmm. And in the gardens, we were pushing to his house, and I was like, that lawnmower's going on its own. And basically, they have lawnmowers that just mow the lawn on their own.
All right, well, like a Roomba.
Yes, man, it's
outdoor Roomba.
That's the one. It's like a Hoover, like what you just said. You just described
yeah, the Roomba. It's like if Hoovers were robots in round.
Basically, it's a lawnmower.
Yeah.
And when you put it on, and it centers the edges, and then it cuts it, and it goes round just like day to day.
That's
Just keep it on your
crazy.
grass when it gets longer. Oh, it's sick. I was confused. I thought some like poor bloke like dropped dead because he put the lawnmowers on his
Just a
own.
guy hanging from the shed because he got stuck on the way out.
Yeah.
I hope there's no missing cats in that town because
I hope.
self-riding lawnmowers. Jesus, that'd be a messy way to go. Right, well, that's cool. So that's our hero of the week sorted. So that leads us on to everybody's favourite part, the celebrity impressions.
How we've not got in more trouble than we're in now by doing these impressions.
Oh, we
I've no
will.
idea.
And I can guarantee you this week's are going to be the worst one so far for me because I randomly selected 2 celebrities before we started and I don't recall how either of them sound.
Yeah, me
I also
neither.
don't know many references for either of them. And one of them, I don't even think you know the name of. So, it's a good start so far. But yeah, so do you want to go first? I think we normally do.
Yeah, I'll go first.
Okay, so I'll give you a scenario.
Let me have a look up. Oh, right, okay. It's difficult. Right. I don't know how far to go with this. Right.
Right, okay. I want to ask so many questions, but not on the recording. Right, so your scenario is you have ordered a meal in a nice restaurant,
Yeah.
but they've given you the wrong side dish.
What, woman or food?
What?
We never had the same side dish.
No.
Like, this
I
is-
wasn't
this
born in the
is-
40s.
This is...
This is my side dish.
Good evening, gold chap. This is my side dish. Right. That's not my impression.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Right.
All right, go on.
I'm ready.
Impression
Right.
time. Hit me with it.
Please can I have a different side dish? This one is like universally different than what I ordered.
Oh my
Is
goodness.
that acceptable?
Well, I've never considered cutting one out before.
Please can you help me feed? Oh, too far.
Oh, and if you weren't in a wheelchair, you'd be in a
I know,
shitstorm
yeah.
right now. Just, ladies and gents, if the camera did pan down, you would see a wheelchair, so this is okay.
Yeah.
That was obviously Stephen Hawking. I hope. I mean, I don't know how
Thank
many
you,
you'd know.
Chris.
Oh, jeez. Well, that was a good impression.
I enjoyed that.
It was either Stephen Hawking or it was that Roomba lawnmower that you saw. I don't know which one. Oh, Jesus.
Oh,
All right.
Stephen, what a legend Stephen Hawkins is.
It was. Yeah, he was great.
He's still there.
What a
Just
legend.
about.
I love that. It's probably the brightest mind we've ever had in this universe. What a legend.
I've got 2 questions, right? When you die
okay, yes.
and you're in a wheelchair, where's your wheelchair go?
Depends what you want it to go, I reckon.
But what if I like pop my clogs now?
Yeah.
Who gets me chair? Like who does that?
Charity? I don't know. Whoever wants your
I
ass
like-
stink.
Say if you believe in ghosts, would I be wheeling about in the clouds? Or,
Oh, that'd be so funny. You got your little chains hanging behind you getting stuck in your wheel.
getting stuck on uneven clouds.
The thing is, though, you could really scare people because, you know, in horror films, when they hear like footsteps in the hallway, you just glide. Like, you're like the Tesla of ghosts, just sliding on past.
Imagine if a wheelchair ghost. I reckon it'd be a wheelchair ghost.
Just walk
Because
upstairs.
what I'm basing
No
this off
problem.
is nearly headless Nick in
Oh, in Harry
Harry
Potter.
Potter.
Yeah.
He's got. I'm going to call it a disability. I mean, his head's fell off.
Well, his
Like,
head's
I'm gonna
like
call it
almost all off.
disability.
It's on by the skin, so yeah.
So, and his head's what he was when he died. So surely I would be in a chair.
Yeah, I'm guessing in that world. I would say yes. In other worlds
Yeah.
where they believe in, like, you know, being your happiest form or whatever. I mean, you would be happiest in your chair, I imagine. It's where you've had your happiest times. But
Gotta stand up. So yeah.
well, yeah, exactly. What are your options? That would suck. If you got there, you had no chair, but you're still fully leg disabled. It's like, well, welcome to heaven. Enjoy the cloud.
Scooting like a dog with a shitty ass on the floor, just like
I'm-
getting round.
They're just saying we've got amenities. We've got like just your water slide and all the works. Got a nice disco. You're like, yeah, can I have a chair, please?
Yeah.
Step one, let me in. Have you got a ramp? Tell me they're not stairs. It's a stairway to heaven, isn't it? It's not a lift. You're buggered. You're stuck in limbo with St. Peter.
Ramp to heaven. Just on the, it's not got the same ring.
Just push a button and it's got 20-hour movements.
Equality for everyone. Needs
Yeah,
to be singing
that's it.
disabilities.
Get yourself a petition started. Make God see all people. Just to clarify, folks, I don't believe in anything, so I'm not being blasphemous right now. Well, I
God.
probably am, but I
Do
don't
you not
really
believe
care.
in ghosts at all?
No.
Not even one.
I meant I
tiny
don't
bit?
believe in God, but sure, ghosts, why not?
Well, maybe is God a ghost?
I
Can
don't
he
know.
count as a ghost?
I think we're on the wrong podcast.
Oh, it's got a
Podcast
ghost.
for Is God a Ghost? It's not a question I ever thought I'd ask.
Sounds like a really good indie band. He's got a
It
ghost.
does. Yeah, like of Mice and Men, like he's got a ghost. They open for them sometimes.
I'd say I believe in ghosts,
Right.
and I wouldn't say I'm religious, but I believe in there's something there. I don't know.
Fair
My
enough.
thought is right. This is a really simplistic thought.
This went really off on a tangent. But
I don't know what I'm doing here. This is not.
went from
interesting
Stephen
thought.
Hawking not liking his soup to this. So,
Right. So if there was a God and I didn't believe in him,
yeah.
you're only gonna get told off when you die.
Yeah.
Whereas if you do believe him and
Ask
he's not
for
real,
forgiveness.
you've not lost anything.
Yeah, exactly.
So I prefer to say there's something out there. Don't know what it is.
You're one of those
No.
that if there's a plane going down, you just start praying.
Yeah, more or less. I'll be mate. I've played matches and I'm getting on my hands and knees here.
Okay, hey fella, you know. Oh Jesus Christ, that's
Oh,
brilliant.
one more question.
Ask away.
Stephen Hawking, do you reckon he was so disabled because his brain was too powerful?
I don't know.
Like, do you reckon the brain power that he would have used for like life just got put into like thoughts? Coming
I'm
from
really
someone
not
who's
sure
got-
where you're going with this.
just
So
some-
I
someone
suggest we
who's
move
got-
on till you get in trouble. Before you get in trouble, sorry.
No, but I've got a brain disability as well. I've got cerebral
You
palsy.
do?
That's a brain deficiency.
Yeah,
Deficiency?
I think he had was it MS?
Damage. Yeah. His was degenerative. to be
Yeah,
fair.
because it wasn't always like that.
No.
Um,
Have you seen the film?
No,
The
I really want
film's so
to.
Good.
Yeah, there's the
Yeah.
theory of everything.
Yeah, it's really, really good. Yeah.
It looks great.
He changed the face of the world, seriously, didn't he? Like,
Yeah,
Stephen
definitely, yeah.
Hawking's unbelievable.
Confused so many people.
Yeah. Confused.
I like that he has a book called The Brief History of Time.
Yeah, and it's massive as well.
The Brief
Takes me
History of
about 2 years to
Time.
read.
Time, that infinite thing.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I remember reading the back and just went, nope. Like,
Not for me, sunshine.
Not for me, yeah.
Not enough boobies.
Give me a colouring book. Yeah.
You can't do colour books. Don't pretend you can stay in the lines. You just need an audio book. That's where you cap out.
Yeah. 5-minute segment.
That's only if you can figure out how to best play. All right, Hawkins, who's my celebrity?
Right. Who's your...
No, I mean, what's
I'm
my
asking-
thing?
I was gonna-
You've got to tell me yours, haven't you? Sorry, what's my scenario?
You went to the toilet. So basically, you've been to the toilet, you've done a big poo, and so it's a public toilet. Someone's waiting for you to go in after you, and you've got to explain that it's a bit smelly.
Okay. Oh, God. Like, once again, I don't remember this person's voice, and I've not seen many of the films.
Right.
Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
Whoa. That shit is spectacular. No, you're spectacular. If you go in there, it's like a crazy adventure. Like the Matrix. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Is that Snake from Metal Gear Solid?
No. I threw a couple of hints in there. It was the worst one I've done so far, though.
I struggled with that, I'm not going to lie, I struggled.
It's meant to be Keanu Reeves.
Oh, God.
You tell me what it sounds like. I can't remember his voice.
To be fair.
See?
I feel like he whispers, but I'm not sure. I think he's made that up. I don't
Welsh,
know.
did you say?
No, I think he's whispers, not Welsh.
I think he's Welsh. It's Christian Bale. All right. Right. Your next scenario. Are you
Right,
prepared?
my one. Let me have a look. Oh, right, okay. Right.
Right. Okay. Your scenario is you have gone to a meet and greet to meet
Yeah.
Santa. And
Yeah.
you're trying to tell him how big of a fan you are.
Right. Whew. Right. Yeehaw! Santa Claus! Nice to meet you, old boy. Don't break my achy, breaky heart, man. I fucking love you, Santa. I've been believing in you since Miley was like this. Miley? Yeah, Miley said.
Oh my God.
I was thinking the only reference I've got is because he's in Hannah Montana. I was like, a real name Hannah
No, no,
Montana.
no.
is
It's not
Miley.
because he's in Hannah Montana. He is her dad. Oh my God. All right, well, that was a Billy Ray Cyrus impression, apparently.
It was trying to be.
Oh God, I almost threw up then. I've got like a drink sat in my chest, and it was about to just fly back out. Oh my God, I thought you were doing Jessie the Cowgirl at first from Toy Story. It was Bob on Jessie the Cowgirl. It's like it's a bold choice. Oh my God, yeah, Billy Ray Cyrus is Miley
That's the
Cyrus's
one.
dad.
I
It's
don't
in
know
real
how you
life.
got
I don't know. I think it was the achy breaky heart thing.
Yeah, I think it's
Anything
the
else
only
would have been
one.
out the window.
Did he have any other songs? Or just know the one?
Oh, none that I know. Oh God. Oh, that was terrible. Great,
I'm a
but
jaw
terrible.
race now. I'm really committed to that as well. I feel like
You did. Again, you're good at the high octave stuff, you know. just snipping them off for that one impression. Oh God! All right, what's my? Oh God, this one's the worst one. You thought Keanu was bad. I don't even think you know who this guy is.
Right.
So go on, give me my next scenario.
You've been to the shops.
Yes.
You've went to pay by your card, but it's been declined and everyone's laughing at you.
Okay. Right. Brother, I have been shopping, but they declined my card. Try and keep it on the low key.
What?
If only I had my hammer, I could have beat him.
I met Timmy Mallet. It's a Timmy Mallet.
It's a bob on Timmy Mallet, yeah.
Is it Handy Andy?
No, it's not. Think comic book films.
Comic book film.
Have you ever seen one of them?
Comic book film?
Yeah. You know, like Avengers and stuff.
Oh, like yeah.
Yeah.
So sounds like weird.
So who's got a brother called Loki?
Oh, I've no idea about
Oh,
that.
for God's sake! It was meant to be Chris Hemsworth. You know,
Oh.
Thor.
Thor. That's it. You should have said, "What do you do in a freezer when it's got too much ice in?" Then I knew what you did.
But that didn't fit the scenario, did it? The scenario wasn't the fridge is bugging him about to run out of stuff. Oh
Well,
God!
why does he sound like the Cray twins? Like every other person.
The Cray twins. It was meant to be slightly Australian.
Oh, is he from Australia?
Chris Hemsworth is, yeah. Oh Jesus, that was hands down the worst one.
Oh, we're not getting a sketch show anytime soon, are we?
I hope not. I'm hoping not. I'm a busy lad. I'm going to pretend it's me that turned it down. It wasn't. It wasn't. They didn't want us. I just turned it down every week. Right. So, the celebrities section for this week is over. That leads us on to last week's question, which was Jack.
Last week's question was, who's the most famous person that you've met?
Yes. So let's start with you.
My most famous person I've met.
Yes.
I'm going to say Anthony Joshua.
Anthony Joshua. Oh, the guy from Diversity. No, it's Ashley Banjo, isn't it?
Bit of a difference. One's going to kick your ass, one's going to dance around you, but close enough. He's a professional boxer.
Right, okay.
Champion as well.
I don't watch boxing.
He used to train the same place I train.
Cool.
In the gym. Like, I've known him since he was in the... I don't know him really well, but
but you've known him about...
say hello to, yeah.
That's cool.
Who else do I know? I'm trying to think who I've met.
Didn't you meet Carlito Caribbean Cool in the gym?
Oh, Carlito, yeah.
I forgot about that guy. Just when he said he saw him at the gym, I was like, you met Carlito as well.
Yeah, he came in and he was like, I said hello to him, got a picture of it, and he said, do you know where's any food places? And in my head I just went, don't say there's an apple, don't give an apple, don't give an apple. I was like, yeah, there's windows over there, mate. Yeah.
They do a nice apple sauce.
It was him and John Morrison, met him. Yeah, it was boss.
Excuse me.
I'm trying to think what else I met. I've been quite lucky enough to meet like loads of sports people, so like Jess Ennis and stuff, always chilling around. But
that's cool.
I met John Coleshaw, that was quite cool.
Right. Are you on last leg as well, weren't you? So you've
Oh, I did, yeah,
You've met a bunch of them?
Booker, yeah.
Josh Whittaker.
John Coleshaw was a bit odd because he just kept on doing impressions at me and it was a bit awkward. Like he was just like standing there like
but the good news is, you can meet whoever you want if you meet somebody who does impressions. Like, I want to meet Kermit the Frog.
It's like one of them shit video games you buy. There's like 100 games in one.
Yeah. And they're all low quality knockoffs. I love them little, like the controllers you plug them in.
Yeah,
it's like 100, 200 games in one. It's like 40 games, and they're all from like failed Nintendo games in the first one. Oh, that's cool. So you've met quite a few sports personalities then.
Yeah. Do you know what I met who's really nice?
Who?
I went to a red carpet thing. Just
Swanky.
before Christmas, I think.
He's flexing, folks.
I met Ben Shepherd.
Oh, nice.
He was a nice bloke.
I like Ben Shepherd. Yeah, he always did the Harry Potter behind the scenes stuff. When they were filming things. He's in one of them as well.
Yeah. Is he?
Yeah, they made him up and put him in the background of the Weasley shop. So there you go.
Fair play.
He looks a bit like Sirius Black.
I also met Tom Evans that day.
Right.
Which to be fair to Tom, I didn't really know who he was because I'm not really a rugby fan.
Right.
But I was talking to him really nice. He was sat next to me on the table all evening, and he said, because he was talking to my friend Will, he was on Strictly as well. So he was sharing Strictly stories and blah blah, and he mentioned that he'd just been on the X Factor Celebrity.
Right.
So I was like, fair play.
I thought you slept then. Well, you working behind the scenes.
So I was like, all right, okay. So I was thinking, when you look at somebody, you go, good looking bloke, to be fair to you. And when you just looking, and you think, all right, fair enough. And he was talking, and the Love Island boys came over, ones who were on the same thing. So he was talking to them as well. And then I was asking about the judges, were they really nice, really doing all this. It only turns out Nicole Scherzinger gives his missus. Didn't even know. I was just,
There you go. It's quite the catch, isn't it?
I spoke to him for hours, like he was a really nice lad.
Oh, that's cool.
I think his ex-girlfriend as well was Kelly Brook, and I'm like, you've had steak your whole life, every single day. Like,
the lad's never had a Mackey's. He's never had a dirty Indonesian Mackey's. Oh, that's cool. Well, you've met quite a few then. Jesus.
Yeah, bits and bobs.
Yeah, bits and bobs. That's cool. Well, mine aren't quite like that. I think one of the ones I met is a bit of a gag one, but I did meet them back in the day, way back in the day. Like, I don't know how many years ago, but we went to Butlins on holiday. I don't know if you remember. Yeah. We were very young. And we saw the Chuckle Brothers perform live. We didn't meet them, but we saw them perform live. It was a great day. And also that day, we saw the one and only Daphne and Celeste perform live.
Nice.
UGLY, you ain't got no alibi, you ugly. Them guys. And when they finished, they ran off to their limo, and I met them. And they were arseholes. They were horrible. They completely mimed everything. They were horrible people. But that's not my actual answer. There's just one that I met that I thought was funny. But no, the most famous is a bit of a loaded question, because to me, people I know are more famous than some of the people might know, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, like, for example, we all know Johnny Depp, but I've never met Johnny Depp. But I have met a guitarist that I like called Miyavi, who
I love
Japanese samurai guitarist, really talented.
He was also an unbelievable actor in the film Unbroken.
Yeah.
Amazing.
The Angelina Jolie directed film. Such a good film.
It's one of my favourite films of all time, that film.
Brilliant. Yeah, no, he's really good in that. And we met him just after that came out, actually.
Nice.
So yeah, it was like a meet and greet at a concert thing. And he's really good. If you've not heard Miyavi's stuff yet, go and listen to him. So I'm really warm in here, so I get kind of hot and flustered, you know. But yeah, another person that I met, the most famous one I think, is if I say his name you won't know it, but you'll know what he's done. He's that kind of famous guy. It's Hironobu Sakaguchi. Now that's to you and me. Well, to you, it's like who? But to me,
it sounds like he's got a Sakaguchi.
Yeah, well, we call him Kuchi Sakaguchi. It's like Gucci. But he wouldn't like that at all.
I was going to say it to his face.
He is the creator of the Final Fantasy games.
Oh,
he started it all. So that huge franchise that most people at least know by name, he created. And playing Final Fantasy VIII is the thing that made me want to make 3D stuff. So between that and Shrek, like Shrek was like the nail in the coffin to go and you want to do this. Was
Shrek,
the film. Because 3D stuff, I've always loved 3D. As you know, I've always loved 3D stuff. But it started with Final Fantasy VIII and all the cutscenes and gorgeous stuff in that. But when you're a kid, you're like, well, that's just something someone else does. You can never do that.
Yeah.
But then I watched Shrek. I was like, oh my god, this is so real. And then I saw making of stuff. I was like, wait, people can do this. Like, normal people do this, so I can do that too. So that's when I started learning.
Talking about directors and filmmaking stuff, I remember you having a vague memory with Danny Boyle.
Oh yeah, you were in one of his films.
Yeah. but you.
How do we just push that one past? Yeah, we both met Danny Boyle. You worked for him.
Yeah, he was really nice. Yeah. I've met him a few times. He's really nice. I remember him taking you around the cameras and showing you around and stuff.
Yeah, it was great because he knew I was into film because I was doing media at the time.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Oh yeah, so we've met a few between us. I think a few acceptable people. We had some people write in as well. So I've got one who's actually met a few people, and then you could do a couple if that's okay.
Yeah.
So my mate Steve, he is a radio DJ, and he was at the Sony Radio Awards in 2011 where he met Ed Byrne, the comedian Ed Byrne, and apparently he gave him some really good advice about accepting loss. I think something had happened in his life, and Ed was really nice for him, giving him some proper advice that to this day he still thinks of. I thought that was really cool. That he's had some sort of meaningful meeting with him, But he said he also in the bathrooms there bumped into Zane Lowe and Jarvis Cocker. So it's like, what were they doing in there?
In the bathroom.
Yeah, in the bathroom.
I hope he wasn't playing with his Jarvis Cocker.
And he's also high-fived two members of X Japan, who are a massive Japanese band, at the Hyper Japan Festival 5 years ago. So yeah, that's what Steve's doing. He's had a good range, good selection there. So what have people wrote in for you? Because we had people write into us individually.
Yeah, I've been very unprofessional and left my list in the other room. So I don't know whether you've got the list.
I haven't got the list, but off the top of your head, can you remember any?
I think there was some people met Princess Diana.
Wow. That's a rare catch, isn't
well
it?
better than people that I've met. So like when I said that, I was
Yeah,
like,
like
I've done
actual
it.
royalty. You
Yeah.
serious?
I think one person met Nelson Mandela as well. So I was like,
Jesus Christ.
wow, that's a varied range you've got yourself
Yeah,
there.
yeah. I'm here with Daphne and Celeste. It's not quite the same caliber of people, if I'm
Not
honest.
quite.
I don't even know where they are. I'm assuming they're both dead from meth by now.
Is there two of them?
Daphne and Celeste. No, there's only one.
Oh, that was a band. Daphne and Celeste. Oh, is there an and in the middle?
Yes. Did you think it was
Oh, God.
Daphne and Celeste? Like, as in, like one.
Like, all one word, yeah.
Wow. Well,
Oh.
you learn something new every day, don't you?
Yeah, every day just
My
one
brothers
word.
are dunce. That's what I learned today. Yeah, it's two people. You fool. It's not Ant and Dec, is it? It's Ant and Dec. You know, it's two
Oh, there
people.
was somebody who met Ant and Dec on my,
Oh, right.
on my messages. Someone put Ant and Dec.
Right. That'll be cool. I think
I
I'd
would
like to
like to
see
see that
behind the. I'd like to see behind the cracks for Ant and Dec.
Yeah, I wonder if they all smiling and just like drop and look
Yeah,
miserable.
I
bastards when they
almost
come off.
guarantee that when the cameras turn off, you know, they're side by side. When the cameras
Yeah.
turn off, I guarantee they both face opposite ways and just walk.
Absolutely, yeah.
Not a word said between them.
Secretly hate each other.
Yeah, just
Like,
both slam separate
secretly-
doors.
Apparently they live next door to each other in big houses.
Yeah,
Am
I
made
think
that
they
up?
have forever, like same street or something.
Do you reckon they got a door in the middle? Like you walk
I
in
hope
and out
not.
of?
That'd be weird. You get sick.
Yeah.
You get so sick of the person, even if you love them to death. You get
Imagine.
sick of them.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, Ant's done well from all this stuff, and he's recovered really well from his drug addiction and stuff.
Yeah, well, you know,
He's done well, to be fair.
It takes a lot to get over that kind of thing. What
Oh,
he did,
for
what he did
sure,
was wrong,
yeah.
but he admits he's stepped up to the
Yeah.
plate and
I
become a
think that's
better
the biggest
person.
thing, isn't it? Like, he just admitted it, and he was
Yeah.
like, I'm doing this, doing that. So-
Exactly. It's when people start denying stuff and they go like full Mel Gibson about it. You know, it just doesn't work if you do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, you've got to man up and do it
Yeah.
right.
There's been loads. We got loads of requests this week. Done well.
Yeah, we've done really well. So I'm sorry if we haven't read any of them out.
Yeah, I
Some of us forgot to write them down.
Forgetting to write them down.
You can
It's
tweet
been
them
a
out if you
mad
want
day.
to, can't you? You can do some tweets or something.
I'll reply individually and say thank you very much because
There you go.
appreciate
It's
it.
the least you can do.
But there's loads of ones that I think did someone meet Donald Trump? I'm sure someone said Donald Trump.
Jesus,
Oh, Shaq as well. Remember meeting
Shaq?
Shaq? I think it was
Oh, man.
Andre Scott met a Shaq as well.
that'd be so cool. I mean, it takes so long to get a handshake off Shaq because he's got to get it from all the way up there. Like you just,
Yeah.
it's like a
Use
giant.
both hands just one.
Oh man, that'd be so cool. It must be a pain in the ass being Shaq though, because he probably how
Oh,
many times has he banged his head? You know, just getting through doorways and stuff.
I remember being in Slovenia and where we train is like the Lashko Pivo, not Lashko Pivo, it's a beer. Like Lashko is sponsored by Lashko Pivo. The Lashko basketball team.
Yeah.
And they play there, and they've got a player who's like 7'3".
Jesus.
So like when we finish training, they jump on the court and do the basketball training, and
Yeah.
he's absolutely massive. So like he's tall if you're standing up. If you're sitting down, I'm
Yeah, I
like
can
kneecap
imagine.
level.
Jesus.
I'm like nowhere near.
That'd be intimidating, wouldn't it? Could you wish you
Oh,
would? You'd be glad you're
God,
not standing.
yeah.
You'd be at a different level. And you wouldn't
I
want
was
that.
thinking as well, like how do you sleep? Like where's your feet go?
I don't know actually. I remember there was a guy, like I think like a couple of 100 years ago, lived somewhere in this kind of area. I think it's called Hale. He's like the son of Hale.
The giant child of Hale. or
That's it. Yeah, something like
Mum
that.
used
Yeah.
to take us when we were kids.
Yeah,
from the
exactly.
house.
Yeah, and he'd sleep with his feet out the window.
Yeah.
And to bury him, they had to cut him in half and put him in two coffins because they
God.
couldn't make one long enough, so they had to do it as two. But yeah, it must be a pain in the ass being that tall.
What would your optimum height be if you could pick a height?
Probably just a clean 6. It's just easy.
Nice.
You know, it's like
What,
'cause-
are you 6 now though?
No, I'm like 5'10" and a half, somewhere around there. Like
So you got
just a couple short. Like it's minimal. If I had a mohawk, would be at 6, but
Sure, you ever get
but
that?
yeah, but I don't know. I feel like it's an easy enough thing to say. Oh yeah, just 6 foot. You know.
Yeah,
It's
true.
nice.
Right
And I feel
there.
like things would be just slightly easier for me. The
Yeah,
kettle's a
I'm-
little bit lower, you know.
Yeah.
Everything's that little bit optimized. So
You can reach everything in the supermarket.
yeah, that's it.
you'd be
There's no
fine.
little bit. Like it's funny. Me and Charlie are exactly the same height, but she's got like arms like 4 foot longer than anybody else's. So she can reach things way higher than me, even though we're both like the same height. It's kind of funny. I feel like a child sometimes
Yeah.
trying to get into the attic, and she's like holding the door open. And I'm like I can't even reach that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think there was one on my Facebook from, I think it was Zoe Castle that said she met Will, which is a strange one because like Will's one of my best mates, and like when
yeah, I
people
was going to say
like,
you probably saw Will recently.
like, yeah, I was like, do you know Will? I was like, yes, he rings me every day.
Yeah,
He's like, just
exactly.
doesn't know me.
Yeah.
Bless him.
Oh.
He did well on Strictly, to be fair.
He did really well. Oh, you know, I was honestly genuinely so happy for him when I saw he was going on
Yeah.
Strictly, and then when I saw how excited he was to start it, and then when he was
Yeah.
on Strictly. I know Charlie's mum is a massive fan,
Yeah.
and she was like, "Oh, tell Willie was wonderful," you know, and all this stuff. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know him, but I'll tell Jack. You know.
No, he's an absolute legend, Will.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
we
a
share
real
old
shame he got
challenges and
injured.
stuff, so. Oh, I know, but
but-
I mean, if there's one dance he's going to go out on, it'll be the one he's did, his inspirational one.
Yeah, exactly. And he's done really well in his recovery by the looks of it, from what I've seen
Yeah,
online and
yes.
stuff.
To be fair, he's benefited a lot from the games being a year later.
Yeah,
well,
I think
so.
it's weird. This whole situation at the moment, it's obviously it's a terrible situation, but at the same time, it's kind of helped a lot of people.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's helped a lot of people figure out what they're actually doing in life, because a lot of people just rush around day to day, and it's just job to job to job, like task to task to task, and they don't stop and think. Whereas at the moment, some people who've been like furloughed and stuff, for example, they literally can't go to work. So they've had to think of stuff, and some of them have found passions. They've started doing artworks or creating music or whatever. And it's great, because I think this next wave, obviously there's going to be probably a bit of like depression or whatever, like financially or whatever. That's expected. Everyone's in the same bucket. It's not really that big of a problem as I see it. But that means that we're hopefully going to have like a second renaissance, like everyone.
Yeah, true.
This new range of artists with new ideas, because they've been sat stewing on their own.
Actually, are locked up.
Yeah, exactly. So it's different. Rather than these people have been to school and educated in a certain way, they've just had what they've thought of and developed it, from YouTube videos and stuff.
I think like a lot of people have had like the monotony of life stopped for a while, which is a good reset in it sometimes.
Oh, absolutely. Sometimes you need that stop.
It's, you forget how much you do. Like now, I feel quite busy and I'm not training as much as I used to train. I'm like, how did I used to fit it in? Like,
exactly.
You don't understand it.
And the funny thing is, when you do go back to as close to normal as we'll ever get, you're probably going to feel like it's nice again.
Yeah,
because you're like, oh, cool, I feel like I'm back on track now. Whereas at the moment, it's not like you're thinking, oh, I'm missing out and stuff, So it's so weird. I think we just naturally adjust. That's what it is. You just adjust to the new normal.
And you get used to like using your environment as well. So like for me, I'm used to having a full size table. I'm used to having a full gym to do every day.
Yeah.
Whereas now I've got the table, but I can't play a forehand because I hit my hand on the door. So I have to use different like techniques I can do.
Well, they are.
Or I've literally got 2.5 foot to do my full gym workout and no equipment.
Yeah.
But I still get a good workout. Do you know what I mean? And I never would have even thought that'd be possible before this. So I suppose you can
it's like that saying, isn't it? Necessity is the mother of invention. So
absolutely,
because you've had to do this stuff, you've learned new ways of doing it, and now you're better for it. So
for sure.
There is
I need my lockdown haircut sorted out. But apart from that,
I know what you mean. It's bloody awful.
I mean, I shaved it all off at the start of lockdown. This is all.
It looks good. I was going to say before we started, it looks great.
I'm getting a bit longer.
That's not long, but okay.
The old lockdown haircut didn't go well because Lucy, she had some clippers, and I was like, right, just take a bit off. And she was like, I'll give you a sick fade. I was like, sure, like, I'll give you a sick fade. I'm like, you never touched a hairdressing thing in your life.
Yeah, a fade is not just something you can just do.
And you've not just said any fade, you said you're going to give me a sick fade.
Yeah.
So what she started off was a 0. From the bottom, just went, oh, I've gone
She started on 0.
I was like, what? So she wanted to go for a skin fade. And she just got to the skin and just went, yep.
That's difficult. Amazing.
So I just looked like I was ill for a few weeks. All got sorted.
Yeah. Oh god. Well, that's one of the plus sides to me just shaving my head these days is that I just shave it. It's dead easy, so I don't worry about that.
Do you miss having your hair? Or?
A little bit, but only when it actually had more of it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I saw a picture the other day of like years and years and years ago when I was like 15 or 16.
Yeah.
It was just starting to go then, but it still looked kind of full. I was like, oh, look at that! I looked alright. I think that's one day in my life that I looked alright.
Is that the picture where you had that long sleeve flame t-shirt?
Yeah, that's the one. It's like the only picture I have from that age. I don't know why. But yeah, and then everything after that was just Bill Bailey look-alike. And
what would you say to anyone now if you've seen them and you were asked for advice and you've got a ponytail but not much hair at the front? Would you tell them to get rid of it, or would you tell them to comb it forward? Or
not get rid?
Oh, fair
absolutely.
enough.
It's one of the best things I ever did. And I did it. It was about this time last year because it was bloody hot, and it was like day 3 of being bloody hot. And I was just sick of it. It's like it's not. I'm not doing this for anyone because it doesn't look good. I'm not like I'm not like peacocking or anything. I'm just being lazy, not getting it cut. So I just cut it off, and it was great. I enjoyed it. But yeah.
Oh, nice.
So enough about our heads.
That's the one,
we have a question for the listeners this week. Because we've just got answers from last week's question, which we appreciate all your answers. Thank you very much, folks. This week the question is, what's your favourite band or musician that you've discovered or have listened to a lot during this lockdown period, during this year, basically? Because I've stumbled across a couple of bands that I've never heard before and really like. So I'm just curious if anybody else has. If you have got any of them, write us into our social media stuff, which is I almost said my other one. It's Hunting for Funny on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, comment, whatever. You can also email us, huntingforfunny@gmail.com, or you can, do all that good stuff. And Sorry.
If you're on the social media, you can always tell if it's me or Chris tweeting because I'm the one with the spelling mistakes. So if you know which one it is.
Yeah, if there's a plethora of spell mistakes and no links, it's Jack.
Yeah. If it looks like it's written by a girl, it's because I've given my phone to Lucy to check the spelling mistake and then just like put on.
Or if it's just a link and no text, it's me because I forgot to actually type it before hitting send, or just hit share and didn't comment. But yeah, so if you need any, if you want to tell us about your question for next week, please do that. Or if you just want to tell us stuff, if you're liking the podcast, if you've got an idea for some new segments, I've got an idea I want to speak to Jack about in a minute that I forgot to talk to him about before. And also, if you would be so kind, if you like what you listen, do us a favour, subscribe to us. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe down below. Give us a like, a comment, whatever. If you're on iTunes, if you could give us a 5-star review, we might give you a shout out next week. How's that sound?
That's the one. Sounds perfect. Should we tell them the exciting news, Chris? We've got big exciting news.
Big exciting news.
The biggest news ever.
The biggest. Go on, you can do it. I'll give you a big salad moment for you there.
Introducing now.
Wow, this is really anticlimactic, Jack.
Start again.
Okay, start again. Take 2.
Introducing
the
new, widely available around the world.
Widely available.
Hunting for funny merchandise.
Yes. That's right, folks. 4 episodes in of a shit podcast, and we have got merchandise. We actually had it 2 episodes in. I just forgot to tell anybody.
Yeah, we were too embarrassed to say it.
I just forgot.
4, we've got
if you look back on YouTube, there's the links in the episode 2 description box. So yeah, if you look in the description below, you will see the link. I think it's teespring.com/hunting for funny. We've got t-shirts, we've got hoodies, we've got cushion covers, because I thought that was important, and we've got mugs. So if you want any of those things, folks, head on over there. You will see the wonderful Charlie's podcast artwork on there. And in the future, when we do some things, maybe if we start to develop a catchphrase or whatever from just saying certain things, or if something was particularly funny, we'd be like, right, that's match. So keep an eye out, see what happens.
Chris, I bum frozen. Can we get that on a t-shirt?
I wouldn't. But yeah, so we appreciate any support you get. If you guys want to support this nonsense for a bit longer, feel free to buy a t-shirt.
I'll tell you what we can do as well. We're on 20 odd subscribers on YouTube.
Close, yeah.
If we get to 50, we'll do a giveaway, t-shirt giveaway.
There you go. If we get to 50, yes, I like the sound of that.
So
by next week,
hurry up and subscribe to the channel. Yes, you might win a t-shirt with our faces on. I'm sure you can't wait to get one of them.
There you go. That's incentive if ever I heard it. Right, so thank you very much for watching, folks, and listening. Jack, you got anything else you want to add before we go?
Nope, just be kind, stay safe, enjoy yourself, listen to the podcast, and that's all I want to say.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Right, thanks a lot for listening, folks. See you later.
See you later.
Bye-bye.